Welcome back to part 2 of the Week 4 live chat here in Finance 4602, International Finance. In this session, we're going to take a final dive into your final project, along with reviewing a few key learning concepts from the course. This session is all about connecting more of those dots and bringing together what you've learned so far as you apply it to your final research project. So, what does it take to start a business in a foreign country? Your essay assignment is really a combination of two pieces. The first piece is creating a miniature global business plan, and the second is writing a detailed essay that expands on the critical aspects of international business. Think of it this way. You're pulling together both the practical side of starting a business as well as the analytical side of operating outside of your home country. For the first part, your mini global business plan, you will need to describe your proposed business idea. This plan should include the basics that you've probably seen before: an executive summary, a description of the market, how operations and management for your business will be structured, and of course, some financial projections. But since this is international, you also need to think about currency exchange issues and how fluctuations in exchange rates might impact your plan. As you finalize your project, I encourage you to search the web for solid business plan examples. There are many reliable sources out there. One site, for instance, highlights key elements like competitive analysis, marketing plans, and industry analysis. Looking at a variety of models can give you a sense of how to put the final touches on your own plan without reinventing the wheel. The second piece of your assignment is the essay, and this is the core of the project. This piece lets you go beyond the basic business plan and really dig into the forces that affect international business operations. Start, of course, with a clear introduction and then describe your proposed business in more detail. From there, you'll want to connect it to the globalized business environment, country-specific standards, government regulations, and even the role of technology. Finally, wrap everything up with a strong conclusion and, of course, many APA references. Here is a quick reminder of how the grading rubric breaks down. You'll be evaluated on differentiating global versus domestic business, analyzing many of the financial concepts we've covered, and presenting clear conclusions. Grammar, spelling, and APA references also matter. Don't forget to present your ideas in a clear, professional format. Presentation definitely counts. When constructing your business analysis, consider using Porter's 5 Forces model. This is a great framework for evaluating competition in your chosen industry and identifying where opportunities and risks may exist. For example, you can look at the bargaining power of buyers, the threat of new entrants, and the intensity of competitive rivalry. Using this model will help strengthen your essay's business environment analysis. Now let's connect your project back to some of the noteworthy learning concepts from this course. For instance, we discussed comparative advantage, the idea that countries benefit when they produce what they're relatively best at and then trade for the other things. This is directly tied to why international business exists in the first place. We also looked at exchange rates and how they influence global markets. All of these concepts can be woven into your essay to show greater depth and understanding. You may also recall some of the investment strategies that we explored, like using options to take advantage of expected stock movements. While this may not apply directly to your business plan, it does show how global markets and investor expectations drive financial decision-making. Including a brief nod to these concepts could help connect theory to practice. At this point, you may want to pause the playback and review this practice question. In this example, 3 of the following strategies would prove to be profitable. Option 1, buying the stock and holding it for 60 days. Option 4, buying a call option, which would increase in value during that time, and then of course it could be sold at a profit. Or the opposite of buying a call would be option 5, writing or selling a put option and collecting the premium from the buyer would also be a profitable move during a time when the stock price is increasing. Another important concept is translation exposure, not to be confused with transaction exposure. Translation exposure is the risk created when assets and liabilities are denominated in different currencies. For your project, think about how your business idea might face this kind of risk. Would currency fluctuations impact your profitability? If so, be sure to explain why. This is where your financial projections need to reflect some realistic assumptions. Several other key concepts are also shown on this slide, and again, you may want to pause the playback temporarily and make sure you fully understand those concepts as well. We also explored how corporations become multinational, not only in their activities, but also in the methods they use to raise capital. A company might source financing from both domestic and foreign markets, which brings up important questions about the cost of capital. If your business plan involves outside funding, explain how global capital markets could influence your financing strategy. As before, several other concepts are also reviewed on this slide. You may wish to pause the playback for a few moments and again be sure you fully understand them before continuing. This concludes part 2 of the Week 4 live chat. As you place the final touches on your final project, best wishes for your continued success as you continue your academic adventure.